Hey Larry, where are your wines that are gluten free? Gluten? I don't know. I know a lot of gluten. There's friends of mine that are gluten people and or gluten, and there's no gluten in grapes, so they're all gluten free. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. I was just looking for gluten free. How about organic wines? Well, some of them are certified organic, and some of them are actually just organic and not certified. Well, how will I know if they're organic? You're going to have to trust me. Oh my God. How about vegan wines? Well, Happy New Year, first of all, and let's start off 2020 the right way with something. And sulfite free, we'll get into that too, as far as sulfites, minimal sulfites, no sulfites, this sulfite. Anyway, hi, I'm Larry Baker. Happy New Year. I am a certified level 2 sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers, and here we are in the downtown studio of South Florida, Sunrise, Florida. So I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I think my last post, video or vlog was right before New Year's to give you some champagne advice. I hope you followed that and found some interesting bubbles to drink. I know I did, all over the place from many different areas, and it was really special to drink. There's so much bubbles out there. So let's start off the new year right and dispel some of these questions that we get constantly in the wine industry. Okay, gluten we covered. Gluten we covered. There is not possible. Yes, there are wines that are using a lot of words that in America you can get away with because the labeling laws are so lenient. Old vines, how old? Everything says old vines in, old vine this, old vines. There's no limitation, minimum, how old the vines is. Same thing with gluten. I usually get leery, very leery, just very scared when I see a label of a wine that has every possible marketing word. Old vines, vegan free, gluten free, sulfite free, this free, that free. There's no gluten in wine, okay? There's grapes, no gluten, okay? There's no wheat or grains or anything that has gluten in it. It's just all gluten free, but people put it on label because that'll help market a pretty bad wine, because they'll just put everything free, healthy, skinny, lose weight, buttery, any words they can. Gluten free, okay, we covered that. There's no gluten in wine. Everything's gluten free. Let's talk about the next one, okay? Sulfites. Okay, sulfur dioxide is in almost every living plant that you can have. It's actually a natural substance. It would have to be millions and millions and millions and millions of parts per million of sulfur dioxide in order to be harmful to you, and I'm pretty sure about that, and so is the medical community. Are people allergic to sulfites or sulfur dioxide, which is sulfite? Yeah, about 1% of the world's population truly has an allergic reaction, allergy, a true allergy documented by medical. 1% of the world population has a sulfur allergy. And the plant itself, a grape, a vine, automatically has a sulfur, as a preservative for the plant. So sulfites are already in the grape. And when they start the fermentation process, natural sulfites, even if the winemaker or the winery doesn't add any additional sulfites, it's automatically in there. It's a preservative that the plants and all kinds of fruit have naturally in them. There's sulfur in everything. Sulfite is not something to be afraid of, okay, unless you're that 1% of the world's population. Okay, so the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, has changed the labeling laws at least 10 years ago. There cannot be any wine that is labeled sulfite free. Every single wine, even the ones that say other things like minimal sulfites, no additional sulfites, which is the new current label, you cannot no longer say sulfite free, because that would be a lie. There's sulfite in the grape itself, in the plant, and as soon as the fermentation process starts, there's already sulfite without adding any additional, so the wine contains sulfite. Don't believe these sites that tell you certain wines are sulfite free. There is sulfur dioxide in every single wine. Minimal sulfites, yes, that could be a label, or no additional sulfites added, that can be yes, but the lie would be, which you can no longer label, sulfite free. So no wine is sulfite free, just a little bit less sulfites. Do they cause the headaches that you claim you're getting from sulfites? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Can they cause severe, I mean, not just a little stuffiness, but severe, respiratory situations for the 1% of the world's population truly allergic to sulfite? Absolutely. They can cause death, I mean, like such a ventricular fibrillation, arrhythmia that could occur if you truly had a sulfite. White wines, pink wines, rosé, 3 times the amount of sulfites than red wines, and everybody worries about red wine and headache. It's not the headaches. It could be the tannins, it could be the yeast, it could be so many different things. There's so many, it could be mega purple, it could be substances they use in manufactured wine, especially in California and other areas that make large productions worth of wines. Those wines you see there, and Australian wines, those any generic wine, they use more of these stuff in there, and more preservatives need to be added, so the wine doesn't change color, and the rosés, the white Zinfandels don't turn brown. So they add lots of sulfites, but still, the problem is white wine, rosé wine, 3 times the amount of sulfites in one bottle of red wine, and everybody thinks red wine causes headaches, not headaches. So I wouldn't worry about it. I would just drink wine. Are there producers in this whole new natural wine phase of, yeah, they've tried it. I mean, I'd be scared to drink a wine. These natural wines, I don't like the taste of them. I've tasted wine in France that they even thought not having any sulfite in the wine, or not adding even just a smidgen, a little bit, would the wine get all kinds of bacteria that'll make you sicker than what you thought you were sicker from. And they tried it and call it natural or natural, and I'm scared of wine. I'd be more scared of wines that don't have sulfites in them than wine that does have sulfites in it, okay? So get that out of your mind. Know that white wine has 3 times the amount of sulfites. Sulfites in everything, a natural plant as a protector, and that's why winemakers may do that. Add a little bit of extra sulfites, but not much, or some don't add any additional. But those wines are, white wines, again, double the problems. If you thought you were getting headaches and you say, oh, I don't get headaches, only when I drink red wine. It's something else. I can promise you that it is not, the headache part of it is not coming from the sulfite. Have you thought about high alcohol and high sugar contents in some of these wines from California, especially 15.9, 16% alcohol, loaded with sugar? That's causing your headache, or that could be one of many things. It's just not the sulfite. Get that out of your mind. There's no such thing as sulfite-free wine. Stop looking for it, okay? We've covered it. Next one, is this wine organic? Well, I like organic wines. I think that the farmers, I don't trust certain wines. It's only in America. In Europe, I do trust, but I don't trust American wines that actually go through the certification process and spend the millions of dollars it costs to get certified organic. Europeans that are, some of them go through it, and I trust these wines, but I would say 50, 70, 90% of the wines that I sell or that I represent where I work that are organic and do organic farming, no pesticides and all the things that are required to be organic, are not certified organic. You'd have to look up on the wineries themselves. A lot of them are sustainably farmed and organic and biodynamic and all those things, and that's great. They don't do it for you like American wineries do. They don't use it for the label and go through the millions of dollars. They do it for themselves because it's the proper way to farm. They don't care if you buy their wine based on the fact that it says gluten-free, vegan-free, this free, that free, and certified organic. So yeah, a good portion of the wines in France, Bordeaux, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and many of them are absolutely one. Chianti, we have several Chianti producers that are 100% organic, but they are not going to say anywhere on that label certified organic. They do it for themselves, the right way to farm. So you are going to have a little faith, do a little research if you don't trust a sommelier like myself, and go to that website of the winery, and they will tell you we are organic. We just don't want to spend the money so that you'll buy our wine. Buy our wine because that's the way we farm for ourselves, organic. everybody's looking for the label to say certified organic. In America, I've never had a wine that actually said certified organic and went through the trouble of certifying themselves, spending millions of dollars that I ever liked. Are they organic? A good portion of the wineries that I've had from Oregon and every place that is 100% organic wine, because they're doing it for the proper way to make healthier grapes without the use of fungicides or pesticides. And yeah, they do it, but not as a label, as a marketing tool to sell you the wine. Okay, so you're going to have faith and do your own research. But yeah, if you're looking for organic wines, I love it when they are. But most of them, especially in Europe, will not say certified organic. They do it for them, not for you, to market the wine. Last but not least, the vegan wine. Well, this is kind of touchy, you know. I mean, if you chose a lifestyle vegan, technically, yes. Don't believe the vegan websites because they have it all wrong. Don't go around with that list of these vegan websites that tell you some of these horrible supermarket wines are vegan. Even when you go to the website of those names that people give me, they will even tell you the truth. You know, we're not vegan, okay? So I don't know how we got on a vegan website, but we're not. Maybe they paid to be listed vegan, okay? A wine, just like when you make a stock or chicken stock, you see that foam at the top. Well, when you're fermenting wines, especially young wine, at the top of the barrel, when the wine is fermented, there's gonna be like a cloudiness, whatever that stuff you scoop off, the wine needs to be clarified. This needs to be clarified. So they do use something. Now, if a wine is left long enough, an aged wine that you have time before you bottle it, that will all settle down and the cloudiness will go away. But so a lot of wines are unfined, unfiltered, and all that, and that's great. But the fining tool for these, especially these young wine, they have to get clarified. The wines have to go out to the market. They can't wait for it to happen naturally. So they fine the wine, and what do they use? They use egg whites, just like egg whites would clarify a consommé egg white, and they use also from a fish bladder a tool. Now, so technically, the wine is not vegan, okay, because it touched some sort of animal byproduct, right? Fish bladder or egg white. However, in my knowledge, it's not technical, but this is the way I think about it, and winemakers think about it, all of that's filtered out after the filtration process. Nothing. You are not drinking any of that animal protein. You're not drinking the fish bladder stuff. You're not drinking egg white at all. You will not be able to drink a wine because it's all 100% filtered out during the filtration process. Yes, at some point it did touch an egg or a fish bladder, but that was to clarify the wine, and then it's all filtered out and it's not there. But don't believe that some of these supermarket wine that the vegan websites say are vegan free or vegan wines, or not vegan free, vegan friendly, or whatever, that they don't, because I've gone to many of those websites of winery and they even disclose we cannot really say vegan because 90% of the time we do use egg whites, and maybe one vintage we didn't, or on our older wines we didn't, but most of our wines are not vegan. They've got egg whites. Those are the ones that have to rush it out quickly and have to clarify those wines to get that cloudiness out. So those are the ones that people come in and say their vegan website said they're vegan, and they're not vegan. But again, just like the Impossible Burger at Burger King, it's a plant-based product, but then the vegans got upset because the vegetarians got upset to found out there was no special oven. They were cooking the so-called Impossible Burger. It's impossible to be vegan because they were cooking it on the same juices that once had. Is the product itself vegan? Yes. Are you eating animal? Well, it touched the grill. They maybe cleaned the grill, but they're putting it on the same grill that they cook their burgers at Burger King, and that got the vegans all upset. So, but there are wines labeled vegan-free. I don't think it's a problem if you're allergic to it, but if it's a moral thing and an issue and you just don't want anything that ever touched an animal product, there's very few wines out there that are some of them are just, you have to call the winery and ask them if they find the wine. Some of them say we're unfined and unfiltered. Well, if it's unfined and unfiltered, then you have a vegan wine. They may not be labeled vegan-free, but that clarification process is what would make a wine a technical non-vegan wine, okay? Because they're using an egg white. It's all filtered out. You're not ingesting it, but I know vegans don't want anything that touches an animal. So We covered sulfites, we covered organic, certifying organic. Even though most of the wineries in Europe are organic, they are not going to pay the money. They just do it for the farming. We've covered, what else did we cover? Gluten, we know that's a joke. Gluten, there is no gluten in grapes, okay? So let's start off the new year right. How about we just drink wine? Good wine from good places that it doesn't have to be expensive, from good producers who farm the right way, and then you won't get headaches, and there's not sulfites that are not going to cause a headache, and just drink wine or forget about wine. But trying to dictate the whole industry to change it to that everything is like no sulfites are added, well, that's against the law, because sulfite are natural. It's in raisins and dried fruit, in every product, in every vegetable. There's sulfites in all of it, and it's just how a plant protects itself from, and for gluten, we know there's no gluten. That's a scam. You don't have to worry about any wine in the world having gluten in it. And as far as vegan, well, that's your choice. But maybe instead of having the wine world all become vegan, maybe wine isn't your thing. That's just plain English. And as far as organic, I'm all for that, and sustainably farmed, and most of the good wineries are doing that, but not a lot of them want to do it for marketing. They're going to do it just because it's the right thing to do. For further questions that you have about any of this subject, you can contact me here on the website. And now you're going to be a brand new year. It's a new way to learn about these things and labeling and laws and all that. And trust your sommelier, that's what it comes down to. Or trust your retailer and your wine, or trust the winery. You can look up at all these wineries have website and find out the information. But that's what it comes down to: trust and faith in the person that's the expert, other people's brains. Remember, in 2020, it didn't change from all the other years. Wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me. And don't panic. It's organic. I'll see you next time. Happy New Year.